drop what you're doing. It's Big Play Fit, and it's time to be showing y'all how to do some target passing in Madden 18. And I'm sure plenty of you guys are wondering how to do this or even what this is, and I'm going to be showing y'all how to do it today. So we're going to go to practice mode, and honestly, we're just going to go offense only because it's a really hard thing to do and to practice. And so if you're doing it for the first time, I completely recommend that you do it in offense only practice mode first, just so you can get the hang of it, get used to it. So we're here in practice mode, and we're just going to be running a simple play here. We'll just run halfback wheel. And so the way target passing works is you start out in your play, right? And you're holding R trigger or R2 on PlayStation to see the play art. Whoever that red receiver is who's running the red route, that's your primary receiver. That is the only person to which you can use target passing. So if I wanted to do target passing to Brandon Cooks right now, I would have to go into my play art like I'm right now, holding R trigger or holding R2 and press X, because that'll make him the primary receiver. And now he's the only person I can use target passing on. So the way target passing works is, here, let's just snap the ball. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold the L trigger or L2, and an indicator just like this is going to come up. And what you're going to do is you're going to move around the indicator with the normal stick here, and you're going to move it around, and you'll be able to place where the ball is going to go. And you saw there were actually two markers on there. The second marker, right, you have, we'll show it again here. You'll have one marker that you can control, and that's the blue marker. And the other marker that you don't control is the orange marker. And that marker moves on its own because that's the marker that's telling you where the ideal throw should be. So what this means is that the orange marker would be where your quarterback would try to throw the ball if you weren't using target passing. So we're going to do it again. Cooks is our primary receiver. His route is red. So we're going to do it again. We're going to hold target passing, and you see the orange one moves on its own. That one is telling you where Tom Brady would be throwing the ball if you weren't using target passing. So that's telling you where the optimal place is, that the computer is deciding where the optimal place for you to throw is. Now, what the advantage of target passing is obviously you have more control over where you're throwing the ball. And as the person making the decisions, you're a human, you can outsmart computers, you can be smarter than the computer, you can see that there's a safety over top and a linebacker underneath, so you need to lead the pass a little bit more to the right or to the left, or something along those lines that your pass leading mechanic can't quite do with as much precision. So the one downfall of target passing is obviously people are running, and you have to move the indicator. It's hard to use. It is just difficult to get the meter to go at the right place at the right time, and it requires a lot of practice. But if you can get really good at it, it can be really useful in certain situations, especially in short yardage situations like in goal line. When you're at the goal line and you're trying to fit the ball into really tight windows, it's a great place to use that, because sometimes your receivers will finish their route and now they start moving, and the quarterback throws the ball in the direction that they just cut away from, so the throw wasn't actually even going to them and they don't even have a chance to catch the ball. Or you can almost use it as a pseudo high point pass if you throw it deeper than them. So if I do this, right, and I throw it way up there, see, that's almost a high point pass because I let it up. And I'll show you guys in replay in slow motion again right here, so you guys can see what I'm talking about, how I target passed higher than what the orange marker did. So that made the ball go further, and thus when it reached Cooks as he was trying to catch it, it was higher than normal, so he had to jump up to catch it. So it's another way to do high point, and you're just controlling it more manually than you are letting the computer control it. And so a couple questions you might have is one, does my quarterback's passing stats affect this? And the answer is yes. If you have a very inaccurate quarterbacks. If you had Tim Tebow, not to hate on Tim Tebow or anything, but he's not the most accurate guy. That's why he's not really in the NFL right now. But if you had an inaccurate passer like Tim Tebow throwing the ball and you use target passing and you told him to pass the ball, to a certain spot, he might still miss the spot by, a foot, a couple inches, whatever it is. He still might miss the spot because he's still a less accurate quarterback than, say, Tom Brady is. So we can do it again, and we can throw. This time we're gonna try to throw it behind the receiver. So see that? What happens is it makes Cooks change his route to go to the ball. Which is a really useful thing, because as you saw, as he tried to do the wheel route and he did the post route, and he went up and then he went to do the post route, because I threw it behind him to the left, he actually changed that direction and went back left to go to the ball. So you can still throw the ball relatively inaccurately, or I don't want to say inaccurately, but away from the route that the receiver is supposed to run, and the receiver will run to the ball. So that's why this is super useful. And if you can master it, which again, it's a very difficult thing to master. There's a reason that most people don't use it, instead preferring to use high point, low point, which if you guys don't know how to use high point, low point, I have a video that explains how to use it. Low point, by the way, fantastic option. If you guys want to see what low point looks like, right, I'll show you a low point pass right here. See how he slid down to the ground to get that ball? It's an easy catch, and it's almost impossible to defend. That. So target passing can be used to literally do whatever you want, right? If you were the quarterback and you wanted to be, you want to be Tom Brady and choose exactly where you're going to throw the ball, target passing is the mechanic for you. And I'm telling you, practice it, and you get really good at it. It can be a very, very useful tool to help you win more games. Having said that, as I said earlier, there's a reason most people don't use it, and that's because it is really hard. And it's only useful, right, as you see, you can only use it on one receiver. So, right, if I want to use it on Hogan, I can only use it on Hogan, right? If I saw this and I wanted to target pass Gronk, I can't target pass Gronk. I can only target pass Hogan. That's all I can do. So it limits your options in a way, because you can only target pass that one receiver. But if you're very smart and very creative about it, I want to say creative, then it can be used as an absolute tool to completely destroy computer-controlled defenders and even user-controlled defenders, because you just have, as quarterback, more control over what you're doing. So again, just to recap, what you're gonna do is you want to highlight the receiver that you want to throw to. So right, you go to play art, right? You hold R trigger or R2 on PS4. And you just, while you're holding it, press whatever button you want to be the receiver that you want to target pass to. So if I want to target pass to, say, Hogan again, I'll press B, and that will make his route red. And as you can see, whatever route is red is the route that you can target pass. That is the only route you can target pass. So we're going to target pass Hogan. And so when we snap the ball, we're going to hold down L trigger, and we're going to lead him down inside right there. And as you can see right there, I missed the pass. And that only can be put on my shoulders, because I target pass to a place where my receiver couldn't get it. And if you do that, your SOL, your receiver's not going to be able to get that pass, and that could be a pick. So if we're going to pass lead to Lewis here, if you pass him too far left and he goes out of bounds, right? That right, obviously right there, that's a awesome target pass, and that's a great use for it. But if you lead him to the sideline a little bit too much, he's not going to be able to get his feet down. So you have to be really careful when you're using this, because for the most part, right, if I just use normal passing and I throw to Dion Lewis here, Brady's not going to throw it out of bounds. But you can make Brady throw it out of bounds. So it's, again, high risk, high reward. But that's basically how you do it. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but when you hold L trigger, right, so if we're going to do this to Hogan again, you have to, the button you press to throw to the receiver is the same button. So I still have to press B here to throw it to him. I don't press A. I don't press any other button. You have to press the button that corresponds to the receiver still to throw that target pass while you're holding L trigger or L2 on PS4. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more how-to videos and Madden 18 gameplay mechanics. Awesome videos, I'll be uploading some Weekend League every so often. Those impossible Madden challenges, which I did earlier, of having Trey Burton pass 50 yards for a touchdown to Nick Foles, which was honestly, it was painful. Let's be real, guys. Nick Foles is really slow, and Trey Burton is not a good quarterback. There's a reason they play other positions. But it was super fun to do, and you guys should totally check it out. It's a lot of fun to watch. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.